apparatus. We know that condensation, when the steam gives away the heat in the power plants, it gets condensed. So this is the main thing which we need to learn. So in this condensation we have two types. One is drop-wise condensation. The second one is the film-wise condensation. For drop-wise condensation, we see that the condensation, that means droplets will be formed. Now you can see while conducting the experiment. And the film-wise condensation, we see the splash of water coming along. And we have read these things in our theory part, wettable, non-wettable. For the condensation which is wettable, it is called film-wise, and non-wettable it is drop-wise condensation. This is how we classify. Before we get into the experiment, conduction of the experiment, let's see what are the things we need to note down first. First, the main thing, we have the boiler which is insulated. See, you can see the complete boiler has been insulated to avoid the heat loss. This is the water level indicator. This is the water level indicator, and this is the safety valve. We have pressure gauge. We see that it should not cross 2 here, kg per centimeter square. 2.5. Okay, 2.5 will be the maximum. Within 2, it's the optimum. We always try to build up the pressure from 1.5 to 2. That is the case. Now, we have the manometer here. So, manometer, rotameter, we set this to 0.2. You can see that 0.2. Then, we have temperature thermocouples. You can see these things. First one, T1, it is a water inlet. Then, T1, this is the water inlet. T2, it is the outlet of the plated. See, you can see these two rods here. One is the plain rod, the second one is the plated rod. So this has been plated. We say that this has been plated, and this is the plain copper rod. See the difference, you can see. The thermocouples are also placed here. You can see these two. Okay, this is the chamber, then this is the T6, then T2, T3, one is for plated and the other one T3 is for the plain. T4, T5 happens to be the surface temperatures. You can see these things, surface temperatures. T4 and T5, one is for the plated T4 and T5 is for the plain, and T6 happens to be the chamber temperature. You can see the pipes here from which the steam passes into this chamber, and thus the condensation takes place. So coming to this procedure, first how do we start? First set the rotameter to 0.5, then see to that the pressure is built to somewhere around 1.5 to 2. Once that is done, we will first start with the film-wise condensation. So if it is a film-wise condensation, as we know, film-wise condensation is for copper. So you can see this. Here you can see water inlet to the plain condenser. You can just open this, and this condensate drain and air vent, it's already fixed. You need not touch that. You have to open this to 25%. Then allow the steam. You can see. You can see the formation of the condensate. Okay, if you can see this, so this will start taking the values. For this, we have to open your tabular column and tabulate the readings. We have, this is the temperature indicator. Using this temperature indicator, we will note down the values. So the values are like this. First, for film wise, steam flow rate. The steam flow rate has been set. That is 0.2. We have fixed that to 0.2. And steam pressure. Steam pressure has been set to 1.5 bar, 1.4. It is showing somewhere around 1.4 bar. So take that 1.4. Then once that is done, next take the values of T1. T1 is 29.9. Then we don't have T2 here because this is plated. This is not plated, this is copper. So leave that. T3 we have to take. T3 is the water outlet of the copper condenser. We will note down that 37 point something 9. And T4 we don't have, again because surface temperature of plated condenser. We have copper, pure copper we are doing for. So T5 is again noted down. And T6, it is the chamber temperature, that which we need to note it down. This is all about the film-wise condensation. Now we will move on to the film-wise condensation, or we even call it as a plain condenser. Plain, this is plain. No, it has not been coated. Just close this. Just close this. Then close everything. Now we'll start with the drop-wise condensation. For the drop-wise condensation, turn this knob first, open this for the drop-wise condensation. Then you can see this, there will be a drop-by-drop formation on this plated rod. See that there will be a drop-by-drop formation on this plated rod. Now I will 25% allow the 25% of the steam to pass through it. You can see, at least if you can see now, there will be a formation of drop by drop by drop. This is called the drop-wise condensation. So we always prefer drop-wise condensation. So this is drop-wise condensation. So take down the readings. First again this is 0.2, then the pressure has to be noted down. Again this 1.4, then 0.2 is water flow rate, 1.4 is the pressure. Then we take T1. T1 is we have to take water inlet, that is 29.3. Then T2, because since it is a plated one, we have to take, it is not the plain one, it is plated. This rod is a plated rod. So we take T2 value, leave the T3. T3 we don't get. T4 we have surface temperature of this plated rod, condenser. So that is T4 has been noted down. T5 we don't have, and T6 it is the chamber temperature which we know. From this we are going to find the heat transfer coefficient inside and outside, that is Hi and H0, and moreover and above all we also find the overall heat transfer coefficient U. This is all about the conduction of the experiment. So once I turn this off and remove this, I can take out the pressure. How do I release the pressure? Here is the way. So this is the calculation for the film-wise condensation. You can see the water flow rate is 0.2 kg per minute. Then steam pressure, I take it in bar, so 1.4 bar. We have the temperature T1 34.9, T3 68.3, T5 98.5, and T6 99.5. So film-wise condensation, we do this for the average water temperature. TW is equal to T1 plus T2 by 2. So if I add and divide by 2, that is 34.9 plus 68.3 by 2 will give me 52 degrees Celsius. Now from the data handbook you don't get direct readings for 52 degrees Celsius. You need to do the interpolation method to get the values. So the basic table, page number 20, I think. So this, from this data handbook we take the readings. For density, we have at 52 degrees Celsius. After interpolation we have 89 degrees Celsius. Velocity for 52 degrees Celsius, mu is equal to rho into mu. So that gives me 5.4 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Cp, specific heat of water, This we already know 4.187 into 187 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Next, thermal conductivity. K stands for thermal conductivity. At 52 degrees Celsius, the value is 0.6419. Then Reynolds number RE. It is calculated using this formula 4 into mc by 60 pi di over mu. So mc, the value is known. Just substitute that, you will get the Reynolds number as 459.76. PR number we have, substitute, mu is known, Cp, K is known, just substitute, we will get this. Then Nusselt number is taken from the data handbook for this 0.023 RE to the power 0.8 into PR to the power 0.4. This expression, we take this from the data handbook and get the Nusselt number. So once we get the Nusselt number, we know that Nusselt number is equal to Hi into Di by Kw. So, or thermal conductivity of water. Kw is nothing but thermal conductivity of water. What I have formed here, this Kw. So this, from this we get what is Hi value. Hi is equal to 193.14 watt per meter square Kelvin. Then H naught, we have this expression. H naught is equal to 0.943 K cube rho square HFG. This is the enthalpy of vaporization. HFG stands for that. This capital H is the enthalpy of vaporization by mu L T1 minus T3, that is delta T to the power 0.25. So if I know this empirical formula, just substitute these things, you will get what is H naught. So once I find Hi and H naught, Ui is equal to 1 by Hi plus Di by D naught plus 1 over H naught. This gives rise to 1.120 watt per meter square Kelvin. Now we will move on to the dropwise condensation.
Start.
So this is the dropwise condensation, calculation for the dropwise condensation. So water flow rate is 0.2. Again, no changes with the steam pressure. When I did this dropwise, it was showing 1.65. So we take this as 1.65 bar. Then temperatures, as we have recorded, T1 is 33.4, T2 is 65.7, T4 is 99.3, T6 is 100. Now the film wise, this is for the dropwise. This is for dropwise. The temperature, average temperature we have to consider, that is T1 plus T2 by 2. So if I add this 33.4 plus 65.7 by 2 will give me to 49.5 degrees Celsius. So again, as we discussed previously, from the data handbook, we have to get these values for 49.5 degrees Celsius. Anyhow, you are not going to get this value. Only after interpolation, we get this 49.5 degrees Celsius. After doing the interpolation, the density will be 990.25. Viscosity will be equal to 5.6685 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Then Cp thermal conductivity, Cp specific heat is equal to 4180.3. Then PR, again thermal conductivity of water is equal to 0.6396. Then RE, Reynolds number is equal to 447.5. Next, PR is equal to 3.6727. Nusselt number, using this expression, we find out the Nusselt number as 5.0818. Then Hi value will be equal to, anyhow we know that once we get the Nusselt number is equal to Hi Di by Kw. So Hi is equal to 191.19 watt per meter square Kelvin. H naught is equal to 630.84 watt per meter square Kelvin. Next, U is equal to, we find again the same thing. U is equal to 1 by Hi plus Di by D naught plus 1 by H naught. Ui is equal to 1.124 watt per meter square Kelvin. Just substitute the values, you will get this. Now you can tabulate in the result column saying that for film wise, what is Hi, what is H naught and what is Ui, and for the drop wise, what is Hi, what is H naught and the UI. This gives us the complete result. This is all about the film wise and drop wise experiment.